Everyone wants to give something a name, stick it in a box, label it. Music is no different. We throw around the terms Americana, red dirt, outlaw, but at the end of the day, it's American music. The sound of bluegrass ringing through an Appalachian valley, the Memphis blues. It's red dirt blaring from a honky-tonk in Austin, Detroit soul, Oregon's rock and roll. It's gospel swelling from an African-American church, the sadness of a fiddle in a Kentucky holler. It's watching an Illinois sunset from a tailgate. A Carolina evening around a bonfire, picking with friends, songs brought across oceans. It's the music that brings us all together, binds us on a deeper level, celebrating our highs, mourning our losses. American music isn't pretentious. It doesn't wear designer brands. It's a beloved baseball cap or cowboy hat with sweat rings, a worn-in pair of Justins and faded blue jeans. It's calloused hands and the Carolina red clay staining your clothes. It's drinking $2 beers and passing a bottle of the good stuff your uncle ran off last week. It's barbecues, fish fries, and Sunday suppers. It's belonging to something bigger than yourself, and yet being comfortable enough to enjoy the ride.
Welcome, everybody, to Picks and Bones. I'm your host, Eric. Happy New Year. New year, new show, great artists. Got some amazing folks lined up for you guys. And I appreciate everything that everybody did to help the show grow last year. And let's keep this going. Let's keep the momentum going to make this an even better and badder 2020, folks. As far as music goes, we have some of the best absolutely out there right now. Tonight, we're sitting down with Three Gun Whiskey. And actually, we kind of missed the first little parts. We jumped right on into a conversation. And these guys are awesome. I cannot tell you enough about how much I enjoyed talking with these guys and catching up. And hope you guys enjoy the new intro to the show. And hey, give me some feedback. Let me know what you like, who you like to hear, who you'd love to see come on the show at some point. I'd really appreciate that. And without further ado, folks, we're going to jump right on in to Three Gun Whiskey.
Touring with someone in Europe. I'm trying to think. He does that cover of Ain't No Sunshine when she's gone. Who the hell covered that recently?
Zach Wild?
Damn it. No, it wasn't Zach. No,
he did. I think he did.
Yeah, he had a video. He was wearing the horse head shit.
Yeah.
Something James. I can't remember it offhand.
I think when I tell people when I talk to people about people to check out, it's usually the bigger names of guys I listen to.
Yeah.
Because I think that the kind of country music that you like, that we like, and that people are listening to us like are the Jinx, Childers, Morgan, Whitey Morgan, those guys. And I think that not to sound like promoting us too, but I think when you get somebody that isn't aware of that type of music yet, I think better if we decided one weekend to throw a big ass party. So we borrowed a PA from somebody and threw some guitars and a drum kit up on a trailer I had parked in the barn. And we just had a good time. And then we started kind of booking gigs. We needed a bass player. Brandon here's a local guy. Been playing bass for longer than I've been playing music. And we started booking smaller shows, and we got a few local bars here and there that they'll pull 20 people on a solid night. And we started playing the hell out of those places, and then just kind of decided that we weren't gonna. I know I'll probably speak for them too much tonight anyway, but I can speak for the band, and we've always said from the go that we're not just going to be a local band that plays a couple bars around our hometown. We always from the beginning had the vision of pushing out, and that's kind of how we got started. And we just really been rolling hard since what you think, a year and a half now, or at least the past year and a half. We've been really just pushing it hard, gigging as much as we can, hit the road hard. So still got some day jobs, but we're doing the best we can, getting out on 3-day, 4-day weekends, and just traveling around and spreading what we like to do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And what do you guys classify your style of music as? I mean, I know where you fit in my ear.
Yeah.
But I always like to hear where you guys feel like you're hitting.
I think really to explain that, I'm not getting too deep. I think we kind of got to talk about our influences and how crazy broad they are. Like Chris Brandon, our drummer, we're playing country songs. We're like, here, dude, listen to this song. He's like, who does this? I'm like, Merle fucking Haggard, bro. He's like, oh, okay, So Dave Ackman, our lead guitar player, who I know, Brandon, every time I play with this dude, I feel lucky that he wants to play with me because he's that fucking good.
Yeah.
But can I cuss on this? I'm sorry.
Yes, absolutely. Be you.
Okay. Podcast, of course you can.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not on regular radio. You can be you on this.
Gotcha. With Brandon here, you played in metal bands. Tell him you played.
Hell yeah.
Oh God, I played like metal bands in high school. Nothing that got big. I mean, it's just I don't think we even really had real gigs or anything. It was just playing parties and whatnot. One of those. You play one of those shows where you got about 10 bands on the list or whatever, and then you have the drummers that take 40 minutes to set up their drum kit for a 20-minute set. Stuff like that. And then I took a long hiatus from playing after my first marriage. Took a long hiatus, and after I got divorced, decided to pick the bass back up because it was a lot cheaper hobby than demolition derby, which was what I was doing at the time.
Damn.
And then I took up with the blues band. I was doing that for a while, which was really not my cup of tea, but it made me relearn a lot of my music theory that I had to learn in high school, and a lot of the stuff made sense. And then in that band, I found out we brought in a second guitarist, and he had done some country stuff along with some black metal and whatnot that he'd already done. So I was like, hey, why don't we start us up a country band? And that's how I started playing country.
Okay.
And
same thing with Dave. I think he's very influenced with 80s rock, all the way into real old country. And myself, I played a metal band in high school, but I grew up listening to my dad play guitar and listening to my grandpa's music. So I think where we fit in is a blend of all the shit that we grew up playing, listening to, and doing. But I know I don't want to. I know you said pigeonhole, but I know everybody thinks they got a very unique sound. I think we do, but I know that our modern influences. If you wanted me to tell you where we'd fit in someplace, I'd say be somewhere between like the Whitey Morgan honky tonk sound to the I just was listening to their stuff. The Steelwoods guys. I think it's somewhere because the Steelwoods kind of play a harder, more of a southern rock sound.
Yeah.
And I think we fit, in my opinion. I'd like to hear where you think we fit somewhere in there, but I think somewhere in the middle of that, somewhere.
And I'll go because I was a front man for bands for years and years and years and done everything from metal to bluegrass gospel. So I appreciate where you guys are coming from that. I agree with you. You kind of got that Whitey Morgan, but I would almost even put you guys right there in along like Brass Tacks because you've got that more rock and roll, just American rock and roll. I mean, I know everybody calls everything's Americana these days, or, out of your neck of the woods, it's black dirt country. Yeah. But really it's just good old American music, which draws from all the influences. And considering how good I'm really good friends with most of the guys at Brass Tacks. So that's a big statement to say. I feel you guys are kind of fitting that same genre as they do.
Awesome.
Which we just call it country American rock and roll.
Yeah, well, that was actually kind of a funny thing. So when we were getting our merchandise made, and we had a picture drawn up the whole 9 yards, and we tossed around some ideas on like what to put on the shirts, blah blah blah. And we didn't have some big meeting or whatever. I'm literally standing at the fucking counter of the t-shirt place. And the guy was like, well, what do you want to put on there? I'm like, well, 3 Gun Whiskey. And he's like, well, you want to put something else on this banner? I'm like, country music. I said, just throw blue collar country on there.
I like it.
Because when I was trying to think of something, we all kind of brainstormed about it a little bit. We did was like our crowds are everything from and we're all laborers, you know, we all work hard, but I think our crowd resembles that, kind of like what you said about the American. We don't have a bunch of the 18-year-old teeny bopper kids in there, but we only play bars. But
yeah,
but now that we're playing a lot more, we're getting the younger crowds, and we're getting, you know, the crowds of bike. You know, we're big in the biker group around here, and it's really kind of interesting, the broad spectrum. It's cool to see that our music is coming out as broad as what we're putting into it, I guess is a good way to put it.
Oh no, man, I dig it completely. And it doesn't surprise me because there's a lot of bike clubs that they love real music, honest music about people that work hard and live hard. And that's pretty much, hey, that's 3 Gun Whiskey right there. Live hard, work hard, and play hard.
We sure do.
And the hat logos are badass, might I add.
You like them?
Yeah, those are killer.
I actually like them.
So
yeah, we just got I can't keep them damn things in stock.
No doubt.
We order them and then we switched up and had the side. And I always joke because everybody's like, "Oh, can I have a shirt? Can I have a hat?" I'm like, "Have one. You could buy one, dude. This is how we pay for our shit." I said, "I don't even own a shirt. I don't have a 3 Gun Whiskey shirt or a hat because we need to sell that shit to pay for hotel rooms." You know?
Right.
So I'm glad we got some stuff coming out that people are liking. And hell, even if you don't like us, buy a shirt because it looks cool.
Wear the merch.
Yeah, right? Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. I know I own 2 of my shirts. I can honestly say that. But it never hurts your feelings when you see somebody out and about wearing it. Because, you know, I've got artists that, you know, local guys that have, you know, bought them off of me. And then, you know, next thing I know, I see a picture of them on stage somewhere with a big ass crowd, and you know they're rocking a Picks and Bones shirt. I'm like, hell yeah! I guess that's kind of got to be.
We gave some to what's Dallas Moore's player's name?
You'll ask that.
Was it Larry? The guy that plays lead for Dallas Moore. I gave him a shirt because he said he'd wear it, and I think I gave Dallas a shirt too at the show we played with them.
I love Dallas. Man, I love Dallas. He is such a good dude.
What I heard he was a real good guy, and we went and played with him, and we played with some other guys, and all of them we had most of them we had an awesome time with. But we started playing, and old boy comes out, grabs one of the closest tables to the stage, and sat there and listened to us. He didn't screw around. He didn't nothing. He sat there and he listened to us.
Yep.
And I tell you, once I got past, I think these boys said, once I got past kind of being a little bit nervous because we listened to his shit driving to the show, right?
Yeah.
And realized that this guy just likes music.
He does.
Like he just likes music, and so we played with a lot of bigger guys, and he was one of the first ones. I say the first one to the extent to where he sat down with us after the show for a good 2-3 hours.
Oh, at least
until they told us, you guys gotta go back to the hotel, bars closing, and just giving us advice, just bullshit, and just being real with us. And I got nothing but great things to say about that man.
Yeah, he's been on the show, and you know I'd always been a fan myself. And once I had him on the show, it was a game changer because this guy, he's so real and just down to earth and honest. You know, it's like just sitting down with one of your buddies, having a drink and shooting the shit for an hour or two.
Yeah. Okay.
So who else have you guys played with that you want to talk about?
Well, we played with Jackson Taylor. Played a couple shows with Jackson Taylor and Sinners.
I know Jackson. He's been on the show too.
Jackson and I we got a lot in common. Both those military veterans. So I think anytime we get to bullshit, we kind of have that we know we've kind of been in the same spots, some shitty spots before, so it kind of just opens up doors.
Yep.
But yeah, we played a couple shows with him, and I had a blast. I mean, that guy, he likes to play hard like we do. We go out and we bust ass, and we try to. The term around here we're using for a while is we had someone tell us that we're a very hard hitting country band because I've gone to shows, we played bars where guys come up afterwards and be like, I don't like country music, but I fucking love you guys. Yeah. Like, you guys just play hard.
I like it.
And that's the way Jack goes out, and he beats the shit out of every song he plays. And he invited us up on stage. I think we played 4 songs with him.
Oh, at least.
I mean, he wanted us to get up there, and we were killing it. I don't even remember what we were playing, but I just looked over. He's like, JCD, I'm like, got it. You know. And yeah, he had our lead player Dave. He plays a lot of lap steel.
Yeah.
And we got off the stage. He's like, no, Dave, you stay. And Dave played half a set with him. But yeah, we really enjoyed playing with him. Played a real big show with David Alco here in Central Illinois. I think it was a big outdoor show. Yeah. And we killed that show. We had a freaking blast at that show. Some things went on, but other than that, it was we had a hell of a show. And I think that crowd, the guy that put that together, I did a hell of a job because the crowd was ready to party because we were the primary openers. So there was, I think, 4 bands before us. They'd been going since the afternoon. So when we got on at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, or when we got on, that crowd was ready to go.
They were primed.
And we came out just getting after it. And we had them going from the time we started to the time. There's a video someplace of one of the sound guys. Someone come up and he's like, "You guys got 2 more minutes." I'm like, "Perfect. We got 2 songs left. We'll be done in a second." I just kept going.
I love it.
Everybody's joke was, "You got 2 minutes." I'm like, "Perfect. 2 more songs. We'll be done." And yeah, that was a big show for us. And we've done some other guys, kind of in the newer country genre. As we first started out, a guy named Tyler Stevens. We played with him a couple times. Yeah. I think he's a little different genre than we are. More of the traditional. The guy sounds like George Strait and.
Is he a little more Nashville?
Yeah, he's okay. A little more Nashville sound. He's a good old boy out of Kentucky.
Okay.
And he's got. I wouldn't even say a Nashville sound because nothing really sounds like the newer stuff you're hearing.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the simple chord progressions and simple tones of like a George Strait album or old Tim McGraw, where it's just
okay.
A dude with a good voice up there fucking singing.
Gotcha.
And so we played a couple shows with him and had a real good time. But yeah, I would say the Jackson Taylor and the Dallas Moore show, just because of the fun we were able to have with those guys and the way we connected with them musically and just bullshit and hanging out with them. Those are probably my 2 favorite guys we played with.
And Jackson goes a million miles an hour, even when he's not on stage.
Dude. I love it.
I was talking to him last night, and he goes, "Eric, I can't remember a fucking thing." He goes, "If it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't even remember to go to sleep." He goes, "She has to drive because I'm so scatterbrained."
Oh, yeah. Stephanie is one of the sweetest women I've ever met in my life.
She have to be so down to earth and grounded to be able to put up with that kind of energy.
Quick, to kind of show you how awesome they are to help us. We played a show with them, I think, up in Green Bay. It was a show, and we didn't, because we travel as light as we can, as light as we can. Yeah.
Hey, big boys unite. Brandon, hold it together, brother. Us big boys stick together.
So we didn't bring a merch person with us. We asked the guy, "Can you help us out getting the gal to help us sell merch while we're up there?" And that kind of fell through. And I just walked up to Steph because I'd met her before at another show. I'm like, "Hey, would you mind?" She's like, "Oh no, not at all." We get done playing, and Jack's up there. She comes up and just hands me a wad of cash. She's like, "You're not charging enough for your shirts. These are really nice shirts. So I was charged like $8 more than you were charging." I'm like, "Okay." So she just went ahead and thought our shirts were better, so she just sold them for more than what I had them for. And
by the way, I just took over your promotions and marketing department.
Yeah, right. Just handed me a wad of cash, but these are nice shirts. Sell them for more. I was selling for like $28 or $30. I'm like, "Thanks, Jeff. They're awesome."
Hell yeah.
They're good. Both of them very good people.
So, what do you? I know you guys are doing some. You do some original stuff too. What is your process when you're doing original? And who's your primary? Who writes? Do you get music first? Do you get vocals? Or is it just all you get together and just smash it?
Looking back in my rearview mirror at all the times that I've been through, my destination's growing nearer. I'm leaving this small town in you. Dusty roads and empty bottles, head full of songs of you and me. Don't know which road I'm gonna follow. No, you gotta get my ass to Tennessee.
We've done them a different way. I can't really say we've done them so similar to where we have a process. I'd say one of the processes that we do use would be I've done a lot of the writing, but what I write and just kind of puke out on a paper, right?
Okay.
And Dave and Brandon, they got much more of a musical education background than I do. So I'll write something, and it took a little bit of a pride check at first, but I give it to Dave. I give it to these guys to say, change anything you need to, make it sound good, because I'm just puking out feelings and thoughts and da-da-da.
Oh, yeah.
So the process is kind of be where I puke something out, it gets revised, then it comes back to me, and then we are kind of all as a group go. One awesome thing about the four of us we got now, we've gone through a couple of people since since we've gotten the force of we're at right now, and I love the guys that aren't playing with us anymore. But what we've created now is there's not a single guy I don't think that has so much of a prideful issue to where if someone says that sucks, that they're going to get pissed off about it, or they're going to. We truly write it. We come down to like, what does this sound like? What does this do? It everybody kind of pitches in once we get to that point. As far as the music goes, I think we've done some where we've had music first. We've done some where we've had lyrics and tried to put music to it. We've kind of moved it around quite a bit to where I wouldn't say we have a set process yet. We do, Dave and I especially will sit, and we just now started to where we're like, I've kind of just thrown the cell phone down and recorded when we're just warming up or fucking around and jamming. Because sometimes I think the last two originals that we've written, I've literally just kind of been like screwing around, like, whoa, that sounded cool. And be like, what did I just play, Dave? And he's like, just this. And next thing you know, we're formulating. So the new originals we're working on now, one of them we actually have set music for. So we're going to have to write it kind of backwards of how we've written other stuff with, having the lyrics first. But I don't think we have a set process. We just kind of grenade it out there and see what sticks.
Hey, it works, and it works good for you guys, obviously.
I think one of the only thing that's really set in the writing process is usually snow on the ground. Because we're too damn busy during the nicer months.
Yeah.
I completely understand.
We tried that all. Well, we're going to be in the car for 8 hours today. We can write a song. And it never happens. Someone's sleeping or someone's doing this, or we're making fun of each other for 6 hours straight. Like, oh, we're going to try to write a song in the car, but it hasn't happened yet.
Or see who's the first one that has to piss.
That's
hey,
the travel thing.
That's a worthy one. That's a worthy one. I would probably lose.
Oh, well, him and I had a little bit of a competition going. Like, one of us would be driving. I kind of look at him like, oh, boy's got to piss. I'm gonna keep rolling because he's not gonna say anything. And then it's like we'll be like an hour and a half deep into me about wetting my pants. So finally, but I gotta pull over. He's like, thank God.
My best friend does that shit to me too. He's like, I know you gotta go. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. He goes, come on, you're an old man. That's what he calls me. And I said, I'm not that much older than you. He goes, yeah, but you got prostate. You got the prostate issues. He goes,
he's always going to be the first asshole to say we need to stop.
Yeah.
So.
And so I've gotten to the point now I'm like, you need to pull over. I'm going to piss all over your car. He goes, all right. Give me a minute. It'll cost me more to clean the car than it will be to just pull over.
Yes, sir.
So I know we kind of talked about your influences coming up. Who are some, modern influences on you guys? Or you personally?
With me, I think the artist that got me, what I would say, back in the country and actually wanted to play it. I'll never forget the day I can't remember the date, but it was back when the Circuit City was closing down, and
oh wow,
I was going through the CDs and I saw the CD with 3 railroad spikes on there. Hank 3, Straight to Hell. I'm gonna check this out. Listen to it. I'm like, okay, well, looks like I know what I'm doing now. And so that was a huge influence. And like I said, Jack. I met Jack. God, how many years ago? It's been several years. I met him back when he still had the bus.
Okay.
Started on the bus. So that's been several years since I met
Sorry,
him.
my dog's trying to crawl in my lap. Go.
But like Hank 3, like that was a big influence. As far as newer guys, Sturgill Simpson, I really like Sturgill a lot. Cody Jenks, Whitey Morgan. I'm trying to think. I've always had a bunch of other bands. I used to run around with. I'm trying to think I did several shows with my old band with the Goddamn Gallows, which those guys are nuts. Goddamn Gallows. I think Those Poor Bastards. Rachel Brooke. I actually sat in on bass with Rachel Brooke for a couple shows, and who did I play with that? Damn it! Of course, I'm brain farting now. I'm on here. I hooked up with kind of joined a little band while I was on the road because I used to travel a lot for work. And I was in Lawrence, Kansas, which I did some shows with the Clanby Cubes as well. But I'm freaking brain fart. We threw together a little band there. Did a show with Stevie Tombstone out there. But I've gotten to meet a lot of people along the way. Like I said, I did shows. Joe Buck, Hank 3's old bass player, did about 4 or 5 shows with him. But a lot of those guys I haven't seen in quite a while. No one comes to Illinois anymore.
I think a lot of my modern influences for me, I think are pretty typical right now with what's going on. Is I'm a huge Tyler Childers fan.
Who is? Aren't we all?
Yeah. I mean, how can you not listen to that old boy sing?
Seriously.
And then if you actually take time to listen to what he's singing, it just blows your freaking mind. So huge Tyler Childers fan. Really like Cody Jenks. Huge Whitey Morgan fan. I like the way he plays. It's simple. I mean, he just gets up there with an old Telecaster and plays. And I really like that he's doing very well for himself. Not only writing excellent originals, but also turning covers into his own, which I think that takes some real talent to take a cover song, make it your own, but still pay good respects to the originals. I Coulter Wall, listened to a lot of his stuff lately. Steel Woods, those guys, they're I came across them almost by accident, and I really like their stuff. But
I do too.
Anything as far as newer stuff goes in that genre, like I said, I don't even know really what they're calling it anymore. I don't know if they're calling it outlaw, if they're calling it I don't know.
I know Dallas classifies himself as outlaw because he's been doing it so long that he's kind of helped bring outlaw back. As far as, that goes. And I know the other guys, Tyler Childers is like, fuck you, we're not Americana, you can't pigeonhole us into anything. But if you look at Americana in the bigger scheme of things, it applies to American music. It doesn't have to be just country. You've got the blues influences. You've got, the bluegrass. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing to be called Americana, especially today, because people have realized that, and, it's rock and roll. I mean, it's just because America is such a mishmash of people and music styles that have been brought over from wherever everybody else came from. And then throw in some Native American with it too. You've got just true American music. But you're right. Like Tyler Childers, who can't not listen to him and just be like, damn, the guy. I mean, it's his music is infectious.
It is. And I like I said, I've kind of been on a Cody Jinks kick lately.
And he's so damn good too. And he's proven.
I got kids. My 8-year-old boy loves them, so we listen to a lot of Cody Jinks together. As far as the guys they're kicking it right now, they're really. I mean, those guys are fucking killing it, and I'd love the opportunity to play with them one day. We came close, a couple of the guys, but they're hugely influential because how they're doing it too is. I'm sure you probably talked to some of these other guys about it. Like, I really have no desire to go down and play in Nashville.
Nope.
I mean, I got a real good buddy down there. I'm not going to mention his name, but just because of what I'm going to say. But I talk to him weekly. I met him because I was down there with my wife for our anniversary with a buddy from California, just tossed drunk. And we threw out a couple songs. And we ended up playing with him, but he follows us. He's like, man, you guys are playing bigger shows than I am. He gigs on Broadway 3 or 4 nights a week.
Wow. And
he's like, can I come play with you? Can I come play with you? And to that, because Brandon, Dave, they've been doing music for a long time. I was a military guy. I got out, like, this is really my first band since high school.
Okay.
And so the whole kind of the scene of it was new to me. So to wrap my head around a guy that gigs on Broadway, which I would have thought that's where I want to be one day, right? Before I kind of realized what was going on. Him saying, hey, can I come up to Illinois? Can I come to Ohio? Can I come to Wisconsin? Can I come play with you? Because I'm playing to nothing but bachelorette parties and tourists. He's like, you guys have more true fans that follow you because everybody comes in to see me in a honky tonk in Nashville. They come and have a couple of drinks, shake around, and they go to the next one. They don't remember who I am the next day.
Yeah.
So you guys are playing shows like that. So, these guys like Cody Jinks and that are releasing albums by themselves, they're going #1 nationwide. I mean, that shit. Talk about the outlaw thing. That's fucking unbelievable to say. You know what? Fuck Nashville. I'm going to release a record, and it's going to be #1 in the country, and I'm going to release at least another one a month later, and it's going to go to
it's just like, we don't need you anymore, Nashville.
Yeah,
but you're right.
It really for guys like us, it's really kind of, I'd say, lit the fire under our asses because it really shows that it's doable. I mean, it's you can't suck, but if you get out there and play your asses off, people want to party. People want to go to shows where the band's having a good time, and they want to go to shows where the music's good and they relate to it. I think the shit coming out of Nashville anymore, I live off a dirt road and I drink, right? But I can't write 50 fucking songs about it and make it sound like it's the coolest thing on earth to do. Yeah. Like everything out of Nashville is about a dirt road. You know what I'm saying?
While they're wearing $10,000 boots and, sparkly girlfriend jeans.
I've had these for 4 years. But, that's exactly, and that's kind of, bring it back to where we fit in. I think the people that listen to the Nashville music are listening to it because it's what's on the radio. But I think that actual music fans want to. You've been doing this a long time, Eric. People want to they want to hear music by guys that like are playing for them. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've had some guys on from Nashville and know some guys up in Nashville and everything, and that they've said the exact same thing, that some people it works for. One is a little more, he is very much pop country, but he doesn't suck. He's good at it, but he's also not from Nashville. He's from Canada, of all places. But he puts out good music and it's quality music. But then, there's some other guys and they're like, we have to make our living playing, weddings, and we're wedding singers, and that's our bread and butter. And I'm like, hey, if it works and, you can survive like that, hey, that's great. But I mean, I just can't imagine, I don't know, I can't imagine not having the integrity that, and you guys obviously have got this. That's why I'm relating this to you too. That you would sell your soul for such a cheap little bauble somewhere, just so you can get some radio play. I know I bust my daughter's chops about it all the time. She's just finally gotten into country music. She's always been into this hip hop shit. And I came in the other week and she's listening to Florida Georgia Line, and I'm like, whoa, we got to cross the line. That shit doesn't get played here. You're in the wrong house, baby girl. So I sat down and I made her 8 hours worth of real music, and I put some Jackson Taylor on there, and some Dallas, and some Whiskey Myers, and all those cats, and it's like, okay, now, and Tyler Childers. I said, and Jinx, everybody. I said, go listen to this. I said, now that's real country. I said, that's not your, pop bubblegum bullshit that you're going to hear. I said, but this is what the real guys that are doing it, that are making a difference across the country right now. These are the guys you want to listen to. Sorry, I get on the soapbox there.
No, I completely, I think it's making a comeback though. I mean, I think everything goes and ebbs and flows. And I mean, I grew up in the 80s, and thank fucking God that Boot Scoop Boogie didn't stick, like that country back then was, going on. But then, Grandpa would listen to Randy Travis and Ricky Skaggs, and there was still that separation, back then. But I think that it's coming around. I think more people, just to see, like we mentioned before, Tyler's album is as awesome as that came out. Jinx's album is as awesome as they've done this past year. I think it's really doing a huge thing, and people are starting to realize that. And I know some guys cuss how the internet plays into things, but you can successfully get by without listening to the radio and listening to music all day long, because you have the different streaming apps, have the different things like that. And as far as CDs go anymore, I bought a new truck this year, and the thing doesn't even have a fucking CD player in it. I got 6 different ways to hook my phone into the truck.
Right.
It doesn't have a CD player in it.
You got Bluetooth and everything else.
Yeah. I got all cords coming out of everything. It's all Bluetooth, but I think it's everybody's I think you got to jump on the internet bandwagon, but I think it's also turning guys that, like I was telling them earlier, that were able to release albums and jump up so high and not have any radio play. I mean, that's fucking huge to be able to have a '1 album and not have any radio.
Yeah.
And really, to me, it almost seems like radio is kind of dying. Because
I think so.
You listen to it, half the ads are for weight loss pills and class action lawsuits. So they're obviously
and depends.
They don't have a very big revenue stream, and it gets to the point like I work construction, and when you're on the job site, guys are getting away from using the radio, and they'll just run Bluetooth and use like Pandora or something or Spotify on their phone, and run through a Bluetooth speaker. And I'll tell you what, a couple weeks ago on the site I was on, or the job site I finished up yesterday, one of the carpenters was blaring some Jackson Taylor. I'm like, what? Holy shit! So, yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
I'm over construction for a zoo. So, and I've built for longer than I've done anything else. And we actually have got a group of contractors on site redoing our our veterinary hospital. When they got started, I heard some music sitting out there outside my shop one day after lunch. And I heard Jackson Taylor being played, like you were saying. And then it went right into some Tyler Childers and everything. And I went down there and I'm like, who's got control of this? I knew they were listening to Bluetooth. I said, who's got control of this? And one of the guys go, that'd be me. If you don't like it, tough shit. And I said, good thing I was coming down to tell you I liked it and you actually had good taste in music. I said, so shut up. And he stops by my shop every morning. Hey, man, you mind if I hang out, burn one, and have a smoke and drink my coffee before everybody else gets here? I said, yeah, come on, man, come on. So, yeah, just.
I think that's, I mean, like you said, job sites. I mean, he welds, I run heavy equipment. I've been walked in the shop, same thing, heard our stuff, heard other people playing other stuff that I like. And I think that's kind of when I was standing at that counter and picked the word blue collar country, the reason it came to mind is because that's what I think, you know, all those guys that are, we play music that if you're working at a job site that came on, you'd be okay working to it. You wouldn't be like, who the fuck, what the hell are we listening to? What the fuck? Yeah.
What jackass guy took over the radio?
There's no clap tracks or nothing like that. We're just like, you know, we're getting after it and playing hard. And that's what I think everybody likes hearing.
Absolutely. I'll ask, I know you guys are fans of Whitey and all those guys, but if you want to go back up to his neck of the woods, have you listened to Jennifer Westwood and the Handsome Devils?
I don't know if I've listened to her.
She's real honky tonk. Good friend of mine. Yeah. Her husband, Dylan Dunbar, was Whitey's first guitarist. This guy, hell of a guitarist. Check them out sometime. They're real good friends with Dallas and everybody too. And they may be somebody to, you know, maybe come do a show with you guys or have you up to do a show sometime. She's just that awesome of a person. And they travel all over the country. I know they hit Illinois. So, and I actually had a guy out your neck of the woods, Joe Stam. I don't know if you've heard him.
Yeah.
Another great guy. He really is. Yeah. I was talking to him last night, and I said, he goes, yeah, I went squirrel hunting, you know, just skinned all the squirrels, you know, I'm going to cook up a nice dinner and watch a movie with a pretty lady. I'm like, can't get much better than that. He said, I'm living the dream.
Yeah, he lives a little west. I think he's out near Peoria, a little west of us, but we haven't played him. He was doing some acoustic stuff at a little bar in town here that we played a few times, and I saw him over there in Peoria. He got, I don't know how he pulled it off, but hats off to him. He got like a 20-minute acoustic set solo before Tyler Childers played, and I came up to him afterwards. I'm like, hey, I know we didn't recognize each other face to face, but we knew who each other were. I'm like, man, how'd you pull that off? He's like, I don't know, but that was fucking awesome. I just played for Tyler Childers. I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. I know a couple of guys that would give a testicle or two just to even have that opportunity.
Yeah, so he comes out on stage. I got my wife with me. I'm like, I fucking know this guy. Like, it was pretty neat. But yeah, he's good people. Like I said, we haven't worked with him, but he's got a very good reputation in the area. Plus he's got that hair. I mean,
yeah,
he's hopefully he hears me say this one day, but his hair is fucking gorgeous.
Well, he listens to the show. We're all follically challenged, though.
I can't do it, but if I had that hair, maybe I'd have got shot up there. But, who knows?
It's got to be the hair. Next time I talk to him, I'm gonna have to ask him that. Is that what it was? It's got to be the hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll jump into some bare bones because I don't want to keep you guys all night. We'll make this one fun.
All right.
And you both can answer. Jed, we'll start off with you. What is your favorite guitar to play?
Fender Telecaster.
All right, Brandon.
The toss up. Yeah, I love my Fender P basses, 5-string. Obviously, everything has to be 5-string. 4 strings, I got to have those extra 5 notes. Those and Ibanez ATKs.
Right on. Okay, individually, you guys can pick who goes first. What band are you into? Another band that you're really into right now yourself?
You go first, well, I think.
Right now? Are we talking just what's going currently?
Doesn't matter. It can be, you can be, rolling back from the 70s, listening to some old school disco. It really doesn't matter. Or, some old Conway Twitty or whatever. Or hell.
I mean, outside of, what's expected, I do dig on Ghost quite a bit. But so yeah, as far as there ain't a whole lot modern I really like anymore.
I'll throw a loop for you. I already told you I'm on the Cody Jinks kick right now because I've been sitting down playing a lot of his stuff lately because of the key he sings and matches me. But I can't quit listening to Killswitch Engage. I don't know if you know who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Best cover of Holy Diver ever done, hands down.
I got their fucking album cover tattooed on my forearm. I mean, I can't quit listening to those guys. I can listen to Tyler Childers for 4 hours and then just switch right over to Killswitch like nobody, like just complete genre change, perfect, fine. But I say right now, if you got my truck, that's what would be on is either Killswitch or Cody Jinks.
See, I love it.
That's actually the last big show I've been to was Killswitch. That's been a few years.
They are so good, though.
Yeah.
Okay. All-time favorite book.
That requires reading, doesn't it?
I can tell you, not to make. I've gotten a simple answer of Clifford the Big Red Dog because they said it was the last book they ever read.
I tell you, you'll get a kick out of this one too. Howard Stern, Private Parts.
Okay.
That I got in trouble because I chose it for a book report in high school.
Damn it!
And
I actually have that book.
Apparently, wasn't appropriate for my book report.
You think?
Yeah, they made a movie of it, so I can come in and do my report. But anyway, I don't think I've ever read anything and sat down and laughed so fucking hard. But I also sound like an old man. I like Tom Clancy stuff. Being deployed in the military, you read a lot, and I like the Tom Clancy stuff.
Well, I actually do have that Private Parts book in my small collection. I think what's the latest book I got that I had yet to read, I think is Behind the Curtain by Jim Cornette.
Going old school wrestling on us now.
Oh yeah. Well, I did a little bit of in ring last year. Or this. Well,
he wrestles. He's a wrestler.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
The old boy toss a midget around. It's pretty great.
That's fucking great. Oh my God, I love it. All right, I know you guys are in the middle of the country, so you've had some experiences around barbecue. Is it pulled pork or is it brisket? And do you have it just dry rub, or what kind of sauce would you use? Come on, Brandon, you're a big boy. I know you got to love barbecue as much as I do.
It's like I love both, and I mix them both.
Right?
That was that place we played in Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure I had both of them on a sandwich. But as far as barbecue sauce, man, it's hard to beat Sweet Baby Ray's. I just love that shit.
So we've had this debate with my wife's from Boise.
Okay.
And around here, when people say I'm making barbecue, it's pulled pork.
Yep.
Like they just say I'm making barbecue.
Yep.
That's pulled pork.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that's sloppy joes. That's just because my grandma always making barbecue. And anyway, but I'm a brisket fan, and if you asked if it was dry rub, if it's a good brisket and it's rubbed correctly, you don't need anything else on it.
Exactly. Good answer.
That's my opinion right there. If you got someone that can smoke the shit out of a brisket and they put a mild rub on it, that's all you need.
One seeing for the pulled pork, being in Carolina, if you go to North Carolina, you get vinegar, but you're here in South Carolina, it's mustard base all the way.
I like the more sweet barbecue.
I like sweet with some heat. That's my.
I'm a complete puss. I can't do much heat, but
not much for heat.
I love barbecue. I absolutely love ribs. There was a place when I was working out in California. I first got a service out there, and the guy started a barbecue shop at an old convenience store, and I'd show up every day for lunch and order 2 racks of ribs and brisket. And after about 6-7 days, he's like, "Man, what else do you eat?" I'm like, "Nothing." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "I have a protein shake in the morning, and I eat your ribs for lunch, and I eat the brisket, whatever's left over from the ribs for dinner." He's like, "That's all you've eaten for?" I said, "Yeah, past 8 days." He went out of business after I moved. I don't know if it had anything to do with that. But
Well, you were kind of doing the keto diet, and you just didn't even know it.
Yeah, just nothing but barbecue.
I ate a lot of barbecue when I was in Iowa. I was working up there.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, what was the first record you ever bought or had bought for you that you picked out?
Bon Jovi, "Slippery When Wet."
My man. It's a good
But
one.
I want to put the caveat on it. I was probably 12, and I was actually talking about this with my wife the other day. Do you remember the album sleeve on that?
Yeah,
With
had
the girls on the car
yeah,
and the wet t-shirts.
yeah.
I can't remember if I wanted that album more because of the music
Or the spank bank that came with it.
I knew that had it, and I knew that if someone bought me that, Dad bought me that album, I'd have my own wet t-shirt contest right there in front of me.
There you go.
That was the first album I had.
Gotcha. All right, Brandon.
Let's see. First album I bought at a garage sale would have been Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
Nice.
And I think the first tape I had bought was Master Puppets.
Another damn fine album.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You sure heard rock. What was that? Metallica. We were like fucking around one night drunk. We did like a complete hillbilly version of Harvester of Sorrow.
Yeah.
It's like we.
Yeah,
guys, International
other
Harvester.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to do that and record that. Get somebody to video it because I would love to hear that.
I'll send it to you.
That's badass. That is so badass.
There was another band that did another. It was Harvester of Constant Sorrow, where this band like mashed up the Harvester of Sorrow with Man of Constant Sorrow.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the band now.
Well, I know Iron Horse was Iron Horse that did the whole bluegrass version and like picking on Metallica and stuff. Okay, your first concerts.
My mom took me to concert. My mom and dad were concert folks, right?
Okay.
So I think my first one was REO Speedwagon. I think it was down by the St. Louis Arch.
I've seen them last year.
Yeah. and my parents also, I didn't get to go, and I was pissed. They saw the first Farm Aid out here in Illinois.
Oh, that's awesome.
That happened. Yeah, that happened 20 minutes from where we're sitting right now.
Right.
Wow.
And there's still pictures of that Farm Aid all over the place when they research. If you look into Farm Aid at the stadium there, University of Illinois. But yeah, I got a T-shirt from that still. Actually, no, I was wrong. My first concert my grandpa took me to, I apologize, Ricky Skaggs, and who's the guy that toured with him that wore the ugly suits all the time? Ricky Skaggs was my first concert. Porter Wagner.
Yeah, Porter Wagner.
Ricky Skaggs and Porter Wagner was my first concert.
I
I was probably about 7.
That one was kind of sitting there dancing around. I'm like, Porter Wagner. Yeah, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Well, my folks were also at that Farm Aid show.
That you didn't get to go to.
Valley Burton Ellie. But my first concert, 13, went with my mom and my aunt to go see, no, it wasn't my aunt, but one of her friends, Def Leppard on the Adrenalize tour.
Awesome.
He still can't get Tommy Lee out of his mind. Tommy Lee the drummer? Def Leppard?
No, that
was Motley Crue. Sorry.
Yeah. No, they had the one-handed drummer.
Yeah.
Or one-armed drummer.
Tommy Lee's kind of like a one-armed drummer.
Kind of. Yeah, my daughter has become, because of the Dirt, my daughter has become a Motley Crue fan. And she came in, she goes, one of my Christmas presents, I want to go see Motley Crue and Def Leppard and those guys together. And I said, all right. I said, if you can go and watch anything done by Vince Neil in the last 2 years and you can listen to it and you tell me what he just sang, and if the lyrics match, I'll take you. Instead of, got a hot air balloon.
True.
I need a bucket of chicken. Oh man! I told us, can't you be happy? We're taking you to see Zach Brown, so that should be enough.
I heard he puts on a hell of a show, Zach Brown.
I haven't seen him. I saw Stapleton a couple of weeks ago, and Kendall Marvel opened for him, and that was just an incredible show. I mean, Brothers Osborne were there, but they shouldn't have been there because everybody else dominated it.
Yeah, I saw Stapleton over in near about an hour from here, and I tell you, watching that guy come out on stage with just him, his wife, a drummer, and a bass player, and I've explained to a few people, there's not many singers nowadays that will get a crowd going in the dead middle of a song when he hits a note.
Yeah.
And Chris Stapleton does that. Like, I've been to a lot of shows, and you don't hear that anymore. But Chris Stapleton, in the dead middle of a song, will hit a note that's not on the album. He hits it, and just the crowd goes crazy. And you're like, holy shit, he just did that in the middle of a song. That man's got some skill.
Well, it's kind of like they say that Adele does the same thing. She hits those occidentals that makes you, not to go too musically technical, but it drives that emotion, immediate, instant emotion, and that's all it takes is to hit that.
Yep.
All right, guys. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
I was more of a Lord of the Rings guy.
Hey, Lord of the Rings rocks too. Lord of the Rings rocks too. Can't knock that either. All right, you both are going to love this one. When you get in your vehicle, that song comes on, you've heard it 1,000 times, but your volume keeps going up. And your foot keeps going a little further down on that pedal because that's your absolute jam song. What is it?
That's a good one.
I don't mind.
You go ahead then, because
Panama, Van Halen.
All right.
Boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
That or the Trooper, Iron Maiden.
If
love me
we're
some
going
Iron Maiden.
There's an inside joke to this, but I would say one of the top 5 of mine is One of Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. I fucking love that song.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
So here's the thing, Eric. Dave, our lead guitar player, like the guy could play the ABCs that would sound beautiful. He hates that song.
So you play it a lot.
Whenever he's getting irritated or something like that, I'll play that opening line. And he'll just look at me and be like, fuck you. Whenever he's getting grumpy, he's getting pissed off, I start working it down the neck of that telly, and he just looks at me like, fuck you. And then everything's fine. Dave's happy again. But yeah, I like that song. I think it's I think that would be one of the main ones I just can't not listen to cranked up.
I hear you. Not to go, I'm going to diverge for a second because you're saying you're making fun and everything. A friend of mine was sitting in a bunch of my music friends from North Carolina and everything. We were doing a drive for the homeless a couple of weeks ago. Another one of our local guys from here got invited to sit in, and I kind of help him out a little bit. So he goes to sit in. They're in the middle of the set, and they're all going around taking turns now doing the singer-songwriter thing. Everybody playing one of their songs. And he gets around. He goes, "Well, I ran out of my original stuff." And he said, "I'm going to just pack up." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You can play anything else." And somebody asked him. He got on a tangent saying, "I fucking hate Garth Brooks and I hate George Strait." Every guy on the stage with him said, "You can pack up your shit and get the fuck out of here right now." So one of the other guys, Tyler Hatley, you may have heard of him. he just immediately, he turns up the volume on his guitar and he just starts playing and singing Garth Brooks. And then it went into another guy picked up a Garth Brooks song. And then somebody else went into a George Strait. They all looked at him and said, "You had enough yet?" He goes, "Fuck you guys." I'm like, "Man, don't ever piss in the neighborhood that invited you in." And you never talk shit about Garth Brooks. I don't care. One of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life.
He played what, 3 shows?
4 shows. 4 shows in 3 days.
He came here to Champaign near us and sold out the Assembly Hall. They opened up a second show. He sold 4 sold out shows here in Illinois in a row.
I believe it.
I don't know how. I mean, I like Garth Brooks. So I'm not a huge Garth Brooks fan, but being a musician and playing out, like when we've done, 4 or 5 shows in a row in a night where we're doing 3-4 hour shows, by the end of that stretch, we can barely talk.
Yeah.
My legs don't work because I'm got whiskey running through my veins pretty much. So, but I don't know how that boy goes out and does those shows night after night. I mean, I don't know. He's got it figured out somehow.
He must have. Okay, person.
A little bit less alcohol and a lot of conditioning.
Yeah. Trish is cooking. Okay, let's see. Person, living or dead, that you would like to take the stage with one time.
Waylon.
Very respectable.
Same.
See,
either him or Ricky Skaggs. Ricky
Skaggs is a badass though, and he's done it since he was little.
I grew up listening to that guy, and he's good. My not to get. I know we're running along in time probably, but
we're fine.
He met my mother and somebody else when I was overseas one time, and he actually took the time to write an email to the members of my family thanking them for my service. Like, that's how good of a dude that guy is.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's Ricky Skaggs would be, even though I would just stand there and look like a retard trying to play my Martin next to him, because I could pick a little, but that guy could probably like wake up taking his 4 a.m. piss and like pick up a guitar and outplay me.
Yeah, and then don't even bother touching a mandolin in his presence.
Oh no, I wouldn't even want to try it. But
it'd be a rap.
I think just to say I did it. I think I'd like to get up and jam for Ricky Skaggs. I was working out the other night. We actually might start covering one of his songs. Get above your raisin. Don't get above your raisin.
Yeah.
I mean, we're messing with that the other night. That was one of my favorite songs growing up. So.
It's a good tune.
Yep.
Okay. Do you guys have a personal or life mantra, or even a personal philosophy?
You go, man.
Personal philosophy.
Right now, it's I drank all my whiskey.
Empty glass.
Empty glass. Shit. If you would have asked me this any other time, I probably would have had one. But I have no clue. You got one?
Yeah, mine's pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's too deep rooted, other than I think that is not to settle. I don't. I've changed jobs a lot since I've been out of the military. I've moved around since I've been out of the military. And it's not because I can't hold nothing. It's because I refuse to settle. Same thing, like, we talk all the time, and I told you earlier, I didn't get it. This is my first band since high school. I'm not going to settle for just playing a couple shows at the bar down the street. I want to, like, if I'm going to do something, I don't like half-assing things, other than probably the chores around the house my wife asked me to do. but
I know that too well.
I don't like to settle for stuff, and I there's negative sides to it where I hate being told fucking no, but I don't like to settle for anything. I like pushing.
I got it.
So.
We'll give you a bye, Brandon. No worries.
Yeah. Because usually my go-to for that is the fatter they are, the fatter they fall.
I like that though. Okay, besides yourselves, who is somebody out there that you think people should be checking out and listening to right now? Because I'm telling everybody they need to go listen to you. So is there anybody you would say, hey, maybe you should check these guys out? You may not have heard them before.
You got any idea of the jets? I got a few.
You go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Artists to check out that are, well, I would definitely say Urban Pioneers. They're a bluegrass band out of Texas. They're pretty badass. Calamity Cubes. They're out of Kansas. They're just a little three-piece string band. Just really heartfelt lyrics, and Brooke Blanche has got a voice just as big as me, if not bigger. Trying to think else. I don't know if, well, I guess he's with Jake Orvis and the Broken Band, but of course he's been out with the goddamn Gallows as well, so that's another band. No worries.
Okay, where were we?
Are you talking about who we'd suggest people listen to?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think pushing the guys that are playing the type of music we are, the genre that we are, pushing those guys, because I think that a lot of people I run into on a day to day are just listening to commercial radio, commercial Nashville, whatever, and getting them exposed to the bigger names like Cody Jinks, Whitey Morgan, Tyler Childers. Getting exposed to those guys they'll like what we do.
Yeah.
Because we're not playing exactly what they're playing, but like you use the term Americana music, it's everything American. And I think once you get, even though someone could say that they're a huge, I don't even know some of these newer guys, huge fan of the number one guy out of Nashville right now. I think when they listen to real music, they can't not like it.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's a game changer. So I think telling people, listen, I might not point them in one artist direction, but I might point them in a genre direction. Like, hey, listen to these four bands, because you're going to notice so much more music in it than you're going to notice to the clap tracks you're hearing out of Nashville. I mean, because that's all it is. It's the same 5 clap tracks, So yeah, I wouldn't be a single artist suggestion. I'd suggest the whole genre of Americana honky tonk music.
Love it. All right, this will be your last one, and then we'll wrap things up. If you had a spirit animal, what would it be and why?
Pygmy goat.
See,
I gotta hear that.
Didn't even take a second. Yeah, I got to hear this one, Jed.
Well, because they're not the fainting goats; they're just an attraction. The little pygmy goats, you underestimate them. I got one in the barn, and that little thing, she's nice as hell, but when she's hungry, just gets on you. And that's kind of, I mean, you don't want me hungry, you don't want me mad. I don't have horns, but I tell you what, that little pygmy goat, when she wants out of her cage, she busts through. When she wants something to eat, she lets you know. And if you piss her off, she hits you up the side of the fucking head with her horns.
My wife's probably related to her.
She's a little 40-pound goat named Lily. Think she's a Labrador until she gets pissed off.
They're awesome. We've got 3 of them at the zoo, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, and they want their attention.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
Let's see. Well, my daughter would come up with this answer: a sloth. Because I don't move no too fast. I'm pretty chill, and well, we've all seen the memes with the sloth on there,
Right?
So I think you can draw your own conclusions there.
There you go. All right, you guys got any shout outs to give?
Obviously, all the venues and we got a guy, our manager, helping us out now, Brandon Taylor, Taylor Entertainment. Obviously, the guys that have helped us, the guys we've already talked about, Jackson Taylor, Dallas Moore, those guys have been huge influence and just good dudes to us. And just like I said, I give a shout out to anybody listening that cares enough to to learn about new music and learn about that there's guys out here busting their ass trying to make good music for you, so you don't have to listen to that shitty stuff all the time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and my wife, thanks, man.
My wife. She lets you do all this. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan of it at first, but I think seeing the enjoyment I get out of it, everything, and I think family is a big part of making this shit work.
Yep.
You know, and the hours I spend sitting out in the we practice. I got a big barn. I got a big machine shed, and we spent. I still make it to work at 7 a.m. somehow, but we've had quite a few late nights out there, you know, writing shit and just jamming out. But yeah, that's as far as shout outs. I just thank everybody for caring enough about music to open their ears for newer people and give us a chance. And hopefully check us out when we get around your area.
Sounds great. Brandon, you got any to throw in?
Yeah, God, you know, like I said, Brandon, Taylor, obviously, you know, all the venues that have had us, you know, Dallas, Jack, my girlfriend Carolyn, got to thank her. She does merch for us a lot of the time.
Yep.
She's super supportive and loves that I do this. And I got to thank my parents, because really, if it hadn't been for my dad playing the stereo until 11 o'clock at night every night, giving me that musical education with the 2 giant crates of LPs, I probably wouldn't be doing this. So
yeah, same thing. My dad, I grew up listening to Dad pick an old Martin D28, and it's a huge influence. We've got a ton of people locally here, that help us out. I mean, we got a gal, Katrina Bush, it's doing our social media stuff for us now. She designed those hats you're talking about. We got bar owners that are willing to, you know, we have gigs canceled. They're willing to pick us up right away.
That's awesome.
And having the local support is huge. And you can't get bigger without having the people at home pushing for you, you know? And, although everybody here that's come listen to us play 15, 20 times and still shows up at parties and dances, they're the ones that, you know, help us go play a show in frickin' Picks down South Dakota and, you know, have a good show, because we know how to put on a show, because we put it on for our local folks here, you know?
Love it. Well, guys, I appreciate your time. I've had a blast talking with you guys. And
absolutely, too. We're hitting the studio, so we're gonna have some stuff out here on iTunes. Hopefully by February-ish is we're looking at. We get all this stuff tracked out and get it down. As you've seen probably on our thing, we were on the road hard this for guys that still work.
Yeah,
we were on the road hard this, and we're basically shutting it down for the next few months and just devoting everything we got to studio time.
Right on.
And good guy named Zach Burke, who's actually kin to him, is going to do our studio work for us, and we'll get you out an album here in the next couple of months.
Yeah,
awesome.
Once he gets back to the store.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'll help I'll help with some promotion and everything, and, you know, play some on the show and help push you guys as well, because we're going to be after the first. You guys are actually going to be one of the first in the new year coming out on this show. So they're going to be. I'm doing a few little tweaks and changes and working towards some sponsorship stuff. So that's going to be some extras that people get. Will be to get some first listens from some of these bands coming out that have been on the show. And one of the other positive things, well, I don't know. Are you guys on Spotify at all?
Not yet.
I was going to say, I've got a Spotify playlist that everybody that comes on the show goes on automatically. So if you decide to go on, let me know, and we'll definitely get you on there as well.
I'll contact you the next couple of days and get you the stuff that we've at least got that we haven't pushed.
Okay.
I'll get you something to throw on that list.
Okay. Awesome. Love it.
So we can do that. We can do that easily.
Sounds great, guys. I appreciate it, and you know, have a Merry Christmas. We're coming up. We're in December. We could say that now.
Yeah.
And seriously, I've enjoyed the hell out of this. And folks, Keep listening. Go support local bands like Three Gun Whiskey. These guys are awesome. And if you've made it this far into the show, you know they're fucking awesome. So, go out, buy their music, listen to their music, buy their merch, because that's going to help them keep going. Help buy me some merch while you're at it. You can buy some of my merch. But keep listening. We appreciate you, and we will see you next week.